You're a veteran in the sport at the time, in your 40s competing, even 50s when you're in Bellator. Did you pay too much attention to the negative feedback that some people would give just because they see your age and they see you fight? Or do you think now it's different when you see guys like Anderson Silva and just guys that fight a little bit after they leave the UFC? Do you think it's changed in some aspect?
I don't know. What I will say on that is that, everybody's going to be different when it comes to someone going, okay, I'm done. You look like George St. Pierre. He went away on top. But then there's some of us that's not what it's about. It's not about being on top. We were on top. We succeeded at the highest level, become the best fighter in the world. But when it's something that you love doing, it's in your DNA. It's like you can't walk away from it. That's the hard part. And I think when people talk about somebody staying too long, they fought too long, you have to understand that mindset. And some of it's about the money, and that's wrong. You can't do it for the money. You do it because you love it. And that's what it was for me, was that I love hearing the crowd. I love the camaraderie in the gym of preparing for fights and putting in 3 months and working with the crew and then getting to the fight and cutting weight, which we never cut weight. So I have to put that in there, other than Tito, but I never cut weight before, right? So it's the commodity build up going into that fight and then going and fighting and winning and getting the celebration, or losing and going through the ups and the downs and then going back to it again and setting up the next fight. I mean, these are things that are adrenaline rushes. They're something that you can't replace. And so when you have that kind of success in being the best, and then you start going backwards and people go, well, you should retire. And you're like, I don't want to retire. I like it too much. And then you think in your head, and my mindset was like, I'm going to keep doing this until I know that I can't do it anymore, until it's over, until I realize I have to know it. I have to know it. And so I kept fighting, but I wasn't fighting for rankings either. I wasn't fighting in the UFC. I wasn't trying to be the best fighter in the world. I was doing fights that made me happy, that made me feel like I was still competitive. I didn't want to sit on a couch. I didn't want to go hunting. I didn't want to go fishing. I didn't want to go camping. I didn't want to go do retirements doing something. Somebody asked me, what do you want to do when you retire? I'm going to fight. I want to fight. I want to go and fight in small shows and entertain myself and entertain fans and have fun at what I'm doing with no expectations. And that's really what it was for me. And I think it's hard to get people to grasp that. It's like somebody that has a job that they really love, or maybe even they help build and they want to keep working, but yet the company forces them out because they say they're too old. And it's like, wait a minute, I helped build this company. You're going to kick me out? So you're not going to be a part of it? That's what it was. It's like I wanted to stay involved in fighting because I loved fighting. I loved doing it. I loved training for it. And unfortunately, as you get older and older and older, it's just not possible. But I had to know that. I had to be the one to say, okay, time is now. And I did.